Hello everyone, this is your favorite Uncle Bob back to that video, and today we're going to be looking at the Transformers Haslab Ultra Magnus. So before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below which video or else you'd like to see in a video. So onto the figure himself. Here we have Ultra Magnus in his very long car carrier mode, and it looks really good. So let's take a quick look at all that detail. So focus. Thank you. Get the nice gold Autobot symbol right up here. This whole vac metal section minus the Autobot symbol is a separate piece. So you would just, plug it on and all that fun stuff. Now, the one thing I do find a little bit funny, and I'm just going to de-transform just a little bit. I don't know if this was intentional or they forgot, but yeah, these can come apart. So, get this plug back on and tapped in. All right. Then going down the sides. Oh, and all the rims are done in silver, which is very nice. You do get some nice molded detail all throughout. He has a landing skid for some reason. Okay. You get, I'm assuming, some sort of like exhaust piece right here, even though that should be, okay. I'm not going to question it. Going down the back, you get some nice Mercedes logos with the taillights picked out. So, and even on the front, I forgot to mention, you get some dots of orange up here for, I'm guessing, the floodlights. So, yeah, not too shabby. Oh, and these windows are painted. So. He does roll somewhat weird. Like, I transformed him back, and it's almost like he's at a curve, and I don't understand why, unless it has something to do with that. I don't know. But anyways, for a real quick size comparison, here we have G2 Sideswipe, and again, I would bring out Sideburn, but the shelf he's on is still covered, or stuff in front of it, so yeah. But he's roughly about the same size as Sideswipe, so yeah. And he can fit on top just fine. You can fit 3 Autobot cars, or deluxes. You can flip these down as well. This likes to hold in pretty securely because not only is it a peg going into it, there is also I forgot about him. You get some tabs on the shins as well. So, but you can roll him up and he fits in there nice and snugly. And you can flip these back up, no problem. Or if you wanted to have him simulate driving up onto the top of the ramp, just move these sections out of the way, unpeg it, and flip it down. And now he can easily drive up it. So that's nice. So set him off to the side for right now. Get this back up into its place. Get that tapped in. Get that tapped in. Get this. I'm just going to let it sit there. So now, if you have Blue Bolts in her main weapon mode, you can store her on top. So you got these 2 pegs right here, and you got a port and port. So just get this lined up, get that lined up, tab it down, and there you go. And if you wanted to further this display, you can bring in the space bridge and have him sit on top of it. So now, unfortunately, you only get one, and it's not wide enough to fit Optimus on the side as well. Oh well, kind of sucks, but what can you do? All right, so get this off to the side for right now. So, but yeah, overall, the alt mode does look very nice. All that looks like how he's supposed to look, and all the other fun stuff. So let's get down to transformation. So first things first, you want to take these this back section right here and flip it forward. You also want to unpeg it from right here as well. So flip this down, flip these around, all that fun stuff, and then snap it in, snap it, snap it. Okay, untab these as well because of my interfere. Nope, it just does not want it. Okay, there it goes. That one was a little bit more than what it originally was doing. But then you do want to come to these panels right here and unplug them. And then for the rest of it, it is held in by these wheels. You just want to slide them down, slide them down. Come on, slide down because you have to. Thank you. And now you have the car carrier with a jet engine and a exploded back end of the car carrier. So let's start with the actual leg. So set that part off to the side and come to this. So go ahead and split this, set that off to the side just for right now. Get these kind of out of the way. Now the instructions are weird. They want you to flip this around so that way you can bring down the foot. This can be a little bit tricky. There we go. Flip it up and slide it back, and then, rotate this back and make sure that hinge is straight. Make sure everything is straight. And then, plug this one into the bottom. So get this flipped around like that. Flip this up, and it will tab into place as well. Flip down the knee guard. Flip this piece around. Then take this section, flip it all the way up, rotate this down, and there's a foot. Now, you don't have to flip this around if you don't want to. You can just go ahead and flip this all around, get this plugged in, plug that in, because you can engage the ankle tilt a little bit to be able to flip this out, flip that up, and then slide this all the way back in. I don't know. There's probably a reason for it, and I just found a way around it. But there is the legs, and you do want to combine them right at the crotch. So get these snapped together. And once again, there you have his full lower legs all done. And I love the way that they did the crotch now instead of just, the legs plugging in and all that annoyance. So anyways, set that right back there. We want to bring this in. We want to go ahead and get these untabbed and flared out. So flare these out. Next, come to the thrusters and unpick it from the arms. You can go ahead and flip up the wheels. Flip up the wheels and tab them in. Untab these sky blue sections on either side, which will allow you to split the arms and bring them down. Split the arms, bring them down. Next, you got a tab slot connection. So get this tabbed in. Get that tapped in. There we go. Make sure the elbow is oriented properly. So there you go. And then do the same thing for this side. So get this tapped in, which again can be tricky. Just like on the original one, only one side really likes to go in, the other one is like you have to fight. There we go. So get this rotated and everything. Make sure everything is proper. Then come to the backpack section, and also the head section. Get this untabbed, rotate this up, rotate that around, and then just bring it back down and tab everything back into its place. So get this lined up. Come on. There we go. Come on, why aren't you wanting to line up, Magnus? Line up because I say so. Thank you. All right. Now, this isn't my favorite parts because you gotta mess with a lot of things, but and also go ahead and push these in as well. Push these in. Now, quick QC, whatever. You might have to unscrew these four and take this apart to sand down the mechanism, because it is a pain in the butt to get these to slide all the way back up. But thankfully, after the OmegaPrime video, they're just staying in that combined mode. So, but anyways, your ultimate goal for these sections is to get them pegged down here, while also getting these two slots into, let me see if I can, these two pegs on the side. So just get this flipped up, flip this up, and this will go ahead and rotate around. So also getting this out of the way, getting that rotated down and in, flip these up as well. Keep doing it until you get it tabbed in. So get this flipped up, keep rotating and pushing, and it should just fall into place. with a little bit of a help. There we go. Then just clip these down over it so that it does not move anymore. And there is the backpack. Finally, you want to take the combined mode chest, untab it, rock it back on its double hinge, tab it back into place, and then just fold this piece down, and you're ready to connect everything. So it's a simple sliding joint. So you just got, those rails going into that section right there. So get this all lined up, and you can't even see what I'm doing. So give me just 1 second. There we go. All right. So just go ahead and slide this in. Slide that in, and there you go. And there you have UltraMagnus in his robot mode, and it's a very solid, robot mode. Looks great. The only thing I'm not a personal fan of is the backpack, just the way it transforms and all that other stuff. But other than that, a very, very good figure. So, but let's take a quick look at the face sculpt. So, get him down. Focus, thank you. I think the face is just a little bit off and recessed in there. But other than that, looks good with the nice gold Autobot badge. His eyes are done in gold as well. I know it's a little bit difficult to see because of the shadow, but there you go. Well, you get some nice blue for his, let's go with nipples. And then you get some silver right there. Other than that, not too much new details in here in the robot mode. So, yeah, now get it back standing. Now, as far as articulation, the head is on a slight ball joint, so you can get up a little bit, down, not so much. But you get the full 360. Arms can do a full 360. Of course, you got the backpack to work with, but it can do a full 360. Can move out, assuming you don't tab things at the joint right here, but it can move out, all the way. Stay tap in. You get a bicep rotation. You get a 90-degree elbow bend with wrist rotation. Fingers can move in and out. Thumb can move up. And the hand can move forward if you need it to. He does not have a waist joint, but that is totally forgivable for considering how he transforms. But legs can move forward that far. Again, he's 90% leg. Back is going to be non-existent just because of all the junk. But he can do the full split and then some. You get a thigh rotation. You get over 90 degrees of knee bend with the feet being able to move side to side. I'm not going to say any up and down. So, yeah, overall, pretty solid. I do like the ratchets on this one. Just a satisfying click, in my opinion. So, but if you have blue bolts in her weapon mode, you just want to go ahead and rotate these up. Rotate these up. Make sure things don't come untapped. And, if you have it in configuration A, it will just plug into his armpits right there. So get these plugged in. Plug these in. Sometimes it might be easier to do that. So get this lined up. Get that in there, nice and snug. Do the same thing for this side. So get that plugged in. And the thumbs will actually plug into the red bits. There is a port on the back. So get this up here. Get the finger up. And just start trying to angle things. So get this rotated. Get the thumb in there. I'm only going to do the one because it's a little bit tricky. So there you go. And then just, if it came off on you, just plug this back on top. And the targeting reticule can flip up, and he can actually see out of it, which is kind of funny. So get this semi-plugged in. So there is that. And yeah, I'm going to have to raise up again. But yeah, it lines up with his head pretty perfectly, if you ask me. So now I'm going to pause right here. I'm going to transform Blue Bolts into her configuration B, which is pretty much everything split apart and the body slightly modified. So just give me 1 second, folks. Alright, so I'm back with Blue Bolt in configuration B. So for the main body, you got these tabs or ports right here going into, there's 2 tabs right back here. So just go ahead and line this up the best you possibly can. So get that tapped in for over the shoulder missiles. And then these will pretty much just, you want to bring out her shoulder joints and it will just plug onto the forearms themselves, which looks, pretty decent. So I am not going to wrestle these out. They're annoying. So, but for configuration C, come on, untab. Again, you pretty much just rip her apart, so I'm just going to do that live. Alright. So, now that you have her in configuration C, get this all out. Let me just 1 second, folks. Sorry. Alright, my bad, folks. Okay, so for the main body, you want to go ahead and just untab everything up here, which is where his matrix is stored. So lift this up. You've got the port or peg hole right here going into a port under his head. So get this plugged up. Flip this down. Get this somewhat. Oop, that one came down. So yeah, come on now. Oh, that's why that piece was up. Okay, get this line back up. Come on. There we go. And just close that up the best you possibly can, because it's hard to see because you got a camera in front of you. Alright, so something like that. Then we want to come down to the legs. Focus. Okay. So you want it 90 degrees like this, and this will be going into the most inner port right there. So get this lined up and tab that in the best you possibly can. Then bring in one of her guns, and this will tab into, let's see, where'd it go? Right onto that port right there. So get this lined up, get that tabbed in, and then the missile will just, plug into the outermost. So get this plugged in right there, and that is how you would store Blue Bolt in when if you didn't want to have her as a weapon. So do the same thing for this side. Come on. Get that tapped in. Get this tapped in. Where the heck did that piece go? There it is. I am having a blind moment apparently. There we go. And then just take, I find it funny that they're just like, yeah, just plug the missile in, right there. So, well, yeah, overall, you get everything stored. You do lose articulation in the knee because, yeah, it's blocking where the knee would go, but it's not too bad. It does fill the gap up in his chest, which is nice, so there is all of that. So, I'm going to readjust one more time for real quick size comparison, so give me just one moment. Alright, so here we have him with his brother in his battle mode, and here we have a G2 sideswipe. So, yeah, they look very, very good together. I do want to give you some updates on him. Excuse me. I did contact Hasbro about his cracked abs, and this Just Optimus is going to be sent back, and once they give me, or they have him in hand, they're going to send me another Optimus, so that's good. But get him off to the side, and get him off to the side as well, because there is one more thing I need to talk about, and I apologize that these reviews are a little bit scatterbrained. There's just so much to do with them, and yeah. trying to remember it all, so my bad. But you want to bring in your display base, just half of this, so get this untabbed. That works. And just set this down. Now, you want to bring in this piece along with one of these. Now, for some reason, they give you two. Sure. Let's just go ahead and slide this in. Then this is the way it is going to be. Hold on. No, sorry, this way. So go ahead and slide that in. And so the instructions say you're going to be sticking it right there and right there. I don't know why you needed two, but sure. But yeah, let's go with that. Let's get this slotted in. And there you go. Now you have UltraMagnus and technically Blue Bolt on your display base. And he is not going to be going anywhere, which is very, very nice. Kind of weird place to have it, but sure. Cool. So, yeah, overall, UltraMagnus is a very, this one is a very nice update to the character, despite, some of the issues of this shoulder not wanting to stay tabbed in. My camera's about to die, so I gotta hurry this up. Yay for camera dying. Apparently some people's have come to yellowed. I don't have that issue, so yay. So yeah, overall, a very, very solid figure. No real major complaints as far as like this goes in his vehicle mode and transformation. So yeah, other than the wings, might have to fix those too. At your discretion. So yeah. So I think that is about it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, all the fun stuff, and stay tuned for more video reviews.